Oh, certainly. That's a great phrase, isn't it? A traveler on earth who grasped God like one in heaven. I think what that is trying to say first is that he had a really clear understanding about God. Um, so he saw God really clearly through the scriptures and understood God and wanted other people to know God. And that's very much what he was about. That's his heartbeat. He also talked a lot about wanting to see Jesus and to rest with him. Owen's life was quite hard after the restoration of the monarchy, after Oliver Cromwell's time in charge of this short-lived republic. We had the monarchy back, we had a king again, and that times were hard for Owen because he'd been very much associated with the republic. Um, and so when things were hard, it made him think about what was really important. And that's why he talked a lot about seeing Jesus, wanting to be with him, to rest with him from all the difficulties and trials that he was facing in his life. So that often comes out in a lot of things that he writes, often in his sermons, particularly, you would find that.
I read that Owen had 11 children, but most of them died young. How do you think that affected his life and writings?
That's a really good question because I imagine if that happened to anybody, any of us today, we would talk about it a lot. And if you were a writer, you might put lots of things in your books about these terrible traumas and the very sad, tragic events of your life. But actually, in Owen's day, that wasn't really the thing to do. I think it wasn't really for another century or two after what we call the Enlightenment, that people and the Romantic movement, that people started being more interested in talking about their inward feelings like that. And so Owen doesn't really talk about the loss of his wife or his 11 children who all died young um, in his work. It's not really there openly. But I think we can see some of that in what I've just mentioned, that is why he wanted to be with Jesus and talked about seeing Christ and knowing him, because he wanted to be reunited in heaven with his wife and with his children.